don't fucking think so. Where's my flashlight? All right, hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to get into some more of these porch talk kind of things. Continuing on with some of these traditional bow hunting misconceptions. We got a bunch of videos we're going to do, but honestly, I'm running out of daylight. So doing them in the woods in front of the truck or when I'm out there, that stuff's getting kind of hard to do because I'm trying hard to scout and then I'm trying hard to hunt and I don't have that extra time to stop during daylight to do this stuff. So we're going to have a few of these coming in like we did all last year, season 2, where we do a few of these just sit down and chat kind of deals. First one that we're going to talk about today, public land hunting etiquette. Okay, how should it be today? Things are so different than they were before. 30 years. It's been a little over 30 years I've been doing this stuff. And, you know, even if you go back just 20 years ago, things were a lot different in the woods than they are now. We have trail cameras. We have people doing stuff. You have people that are mobile hunters now, where you didn't before. Everybody was sitting in basically a ladder stand, or you had people running climbers, but ladder stands were very popular. Stationary one spot places were the norm. Things were a heck of a lot different than they are now. And how do we deal with the etiquette of pressure and people on hunting land? Well, I'm going to break it down for you in my opinion. Now, this is only my opinion. So if I say something that offends you, I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm sorry. It's your call, whatever you want to do with it. But this is how I think about it and what I treat it like. So, and again, some of you guys may agree. Some of you guys may not with some of the stuff. Some things you might think is all right. Some things you might think is crazy. But I'm going to give it to you straight up anyway. So here it is. So in my opinion, when it comes to this kind of things that we're going to deal with out there, if you're walking into a stand and somebody flashes you with a light, okay, because they're already in that spot you want to go to, you leave. You turn around and leave. Or if you have to go past them, you make a wide girth and you go around them and you go past them. Now, some people argue that. What do you mean you go past him? You shouldn't be able to go past him. He's already telling you he's in here. You know, if especially take a lot of WMAs here and a lot of WMAs all over the country. A lot of ones I hunt in the Midwest, all that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, look at here. We got from my buddy Brian Lambright. Look at what we got right here. Arkansas Bowhunters Association jersey he sent me. I like this jersey a lot. Very nice. But, you know, so putting a little support out there for that. But in these Midwest places and all that kind of stuff too, a lot of them, that area might only be 1,200 yards, 700 yards wide of area that you have, and it might be 4 miles long. Okay, it might be 4 miles long, but only 1,000 yards wide, and it's just a strip of creek bottom or something like that that's actually public land. If you think for a second that I pull into the parking lot to hunt there during a rut, and there's already 5 cars in there, and they're all headed in the same way because they're parked at one end. If you think for a second that I'm going to walk down that way, and if somebody flashing a flashlight at me, that I'm going to just turn around and leave when there's miles of land behind him, no. I'm going to go right by him. It's just what it's going to be. It is what it is. He's going to have to deal with it. And if I can skirt him wide, I will skirt him wide. If I cannot skirt him wide, I'll walk straight through and just tell him, sorry, heading way back there. I'll be out of your hair in a second. It is what it is, but that's the way it's going to be. So I don't, like I said, it is what it is. I'll try and do the most respect I can, but again, if you're in a spot where you're blocking where I got to get to and I'm going way beyond where you are, and I know that I'm not going to mess you up once I get past there, I'm going. People are going to say, well, what about your scent moving through there? Sorry, it's public land. Sorry. Okay, sorry. If you're blocking the way to get where I got to go, I'm going. Now, what if, you know, if you don't have that situation, and you always try to be respectful. If I'm walking in, when I was in Michigan, we had a lot of bigger chunks that were not quite like that. If somebody shines a light on me, I turn around and go right back out the same way I came as soon as they shine a light, and I'll go to a different spot. If I can. A lot of places, like I said, especially during a rut in the Midwest, you guys think you know pressure. You haven't seen pressure until you get out there. You literally can have, every parking lot could literally have 20 cars in it, and 18 of them are out-of-state people. Okay, it's just the way it is. Nobody knows where anybody is. It's a crapshoot, and that's the way it is. I do believe that everybody should be flashing somebody and letting them know where they're at so they do know. One thing I cannot stand is when I do set up a stand and then daylight breaks and I realize that there's somebody literally 60 yards away from me because he didn't let me know he was there. That pisses me off. That's upsetting. It's your responsibility to let each other know where you are. If you're going to let me climb a tree and go through all that trouble 60 yards away from me, you're going to watch me do it without telling me, I'm going to be pretty upset. Okay, then, and I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty upset. And I've had it happen to me twice in Kansas, and it's very upsetting. So that's something you got to consider. Also, one of the reasons that you see in my vlogs a lot, I usually don't set up until gray light so that I don't have that happen anymore. I'll get in the area and I'll wait, but I won't set up until it's gray light because I'm tired of that kind of stuff happening. Disrespectful. If you're in a tree, let me know. As far as flashing other people and things like that, letting them know when you're there, yes, you can for sure. What if you get to a spot and there's already a stand there? There's a stand in that funnel you want to hunt. I don't care. I don't care if there's a funnel there. If I want to hunt it and I go in and you hit me with your flashlight, or I walk in the afternoon and you're already in the stand whistling at me, letting me know, then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to bail out. But if I get there before you do, I'm hunting it because I want to hunt it. It's a good funnel. And if I'm there before you do, or on a day that you're not and you're coming in there, I don't care what you think. I don't care. It's public land. If you have a camera set up in there, if you have a camera on a persimmon tree, you have a camera on a swamp chestnut, you have a camera on a crabapple, you have a camera somewhere in a funnel, I don't care. I'm going to hunt it. I'm going to hunt it without any care in the world or without any fear or anything like that. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm going to hunt it and it's one of those digital cell cams that's going to keep going off, or even any camera, if the tree I need to pick means that your camera is going to be sitting there recording me the whole time I'm out there hunting and I'm sitting there and what if I want to pick my nose? Something like that, okay? I don't want to deal with your camera. So realistically, I won't turn your camera off anymore. I don't do that kind of stuff like you see people do and things like that. But I will make a point to get a branch and I will put a branch on your camera. You will see me do it. I will put a branch right on there so that your camera is no longer working. It is dead while I'm there. Before I leave, when I get down, I will pull that branch off so that your camera works again. But I'm not going to have your camera 15 yards from me shooting at me the whole time that I'm out there hunting. And you can have your camera. I don't care, but I'm not doing it. And if it's a cell phone camera, you're probably going to be freaking out because what the heck is going on? Somebody's in my spot. Yeah, that's probably me. And you'll see it because I'm not afraid. It's not like I'm hiding my face. I'll let you know. You'll see it's me, and you'll see the branch, and I'll show you the branch, and I'm going to put it right over your camera. And then when I'm done hunting, you'll see me take the branch right off again. It's public land etiquette. You don't own the spot. You don't have it's not yours. It's just the way it is. So that's the way I feel about the whole, people thinking they claim ownership to them. They don't. Now, I will never steal a camera. I'll never touch a camera. I'll never take somebody's stuff. I'll never understand all that. But it is not your spot. Now, as far as parking lot etiquette and stuff like that, too, as far as that goes, if somebody is parked on a road side or a parking, a lot of places don't have parking lots. So say somebody's pulled over and parked on a road and that's where they got their truck at. If I'm going to go hunt the same kind of area, I think it's smartest to, and I will, park right next to them. Now people are like, what the heck? This guy climbed right on top of me. I'm assuming that anybody that's parking there, regardless of where they're going to hunt at, let's say they're parking on the side of a road and they could go this side or this side, that way or that way. 4 directions of things to do. But if they park their truck there, they park their truck there because they don't want the truck to interfere with their hunting. Now, if I choose to and I decide, well, I'm going to go park 100 yards down the road further and park my truck there, I might actually be putting my truck in a spot that could screw them up. So I won't do it. Instead, I'll park right on top of their truck, right next to them. Not hard, but but I'm parking in the same spot, and then I will walk further distance to go. If I get flashed or get whistled at, something like that, let know I'm there, that he's there, then I bail and I leave and I go out, or I'll go to a different direction. But if I have 1 of 4 odds to not run into them. or I mean, 3 out of 4 chances to not be where he is. But I'm going to hunt it. But I will put my truck right where his is, and I do it on purpose. Now, some people get mad. They'll leave you a note on your hood. Can't believe you hunted right on top of me. I'm not hunting right on top of you. I parked on top of you out of respect for you so that I don't park somewhere in the area that might actually screw you up. Okay, so that's the real. You parked here for a reason. You chose this spot because it will not hurt your hunting. I chose to respect you the same way and park here where whatever I do will not hurt your hunting. So, but again, this whole philosophy of, I have this spot. I picked this spot. I've been hunting this spot for 10 years. This is my spot. No, no, no. This is my ridge. No, no, no. This is my funnel. No, no, no. No, no, no. This is public land. Everything is open for anybody. And it's first come, first serve. First one in gets it. If I walk in and your ladder stand is in the right spot, don't think for a second I won't climb up and hunt it if I want to. I'm probably not gonna because I'm not a big fan of shooting out of ladder stands, but I might, and I might also climb up it just to get a bird's eye view of the area and take a look and see what I want to. I do that on people's stands all the time. I'll climb up, take a look around, see what's up there, kind of get a feel since it's there. I do that when I'm hog hunting constantly when I come across stands. So, like I said, this is public land. Etiquette, yes. Respectful, yes. Be that person. Be the right guy. That kind of thing. If somebody does come in and set up on you and they won't, if somebody doesn't, if I whistle at somebody in the afternoon and they're walking in and they're still going to set up and they're going to set up 100 yards away from me, if I feel that funnel is going to let me harvest deer before they get to me, then I'm not going to get down. Okay, if they want to choose to set up and sit there and they want to be stubborn about it or they want to just stay in there, more power to them because it's not going to affect me. I'm expecting the deer to come this way and I'll stay and hunt it. And I won't probably come back to it for a while. But if they come in and they set up too close on me where it's going to screw me up and I whistle at them and tell them and they're not going to leave, I'm not going to argue with these people. I'm just going to get down and bail. I'm going to get down and bail and move on. And like I said, I've done that a couple of times with people that have come in and that I've set up in the morning, and they literally let me set up there. Even in last year here in Georgia, I had a guy who was looking at persimmons, and I was sat there watching persimmons and checking persimmons out and all this kind of stuff. And I stood there for 10 minutes. You guys saw this if you're in my Patreon. 10 minutes, I'm looking at this, picking stuff out, and then I look over and I'm like, I'm going to go in that tree. And I start walking over there and hooking stuff, and all of a sudden this guy, then he starts yelling at me. It's like I've been standing right here for 10 minutes. You're 15 yards away up there in that tree, buried in, tucked in real good too. But I'm like, and you can't tell me you're here? You're not going to say nothing to me? It's like, what are you thinking? So like I said, etiquette is important out there. It's nice that we are respectful. We have to be. As far as one question that comes up all the time, should you shoot somebody else's deer if it comes by? My opinion is no. I would rather not, because then if you do, they might say that, say you shoot at it and you don't hit it good. They're going to say, well, you made it run forever. It would have just went a little bit. There's too many variables. My attitude is no, just watch it. Use your binoculars, mark it, be ready for him so you can help him if he does come by you, and let him know. And if he doesn't come by before you're ready to leave, walk over that blood trail, and on that blood trail, just use your foot and on the scrape in the ground and put an arrow and a marker right there for him to see where that is, and then he can make sure he picks it up from there. For where last place you've seen him at is, don't screw up the blood trail. But something like that. But again, just be respectful of each other out there. But you guys, especially baiters too, okay? Now this one was a big deal in Michigan. A lot of people in Michigan could bait. I don't know if they still can now or not. I don't remember what the rules are. It's been 4 years since I've been there, but baiting was a very big deal. And people think that they put a pile of carrots in the woods that they own an area. I can't tell you how many times me being a go-in blind in a dark hunter or going blind to a spot I've never been hunter will walk in, scout my way in, find a spot I want in that funnel, climb up and set up and hunt. And then I get up in a tree and I looking around and checking for scrapes and looking for rubs and looking for things. And 80 yards away, I'll see a bait pile in a tree stand. I'm already set up. I'm not moving. I'm there. I don't care if your bait pile's there. I didn't set up in that spot for your bait pile, and it's probably hurting my odds a little bit. But if I feel that I want to stay, I'm staying. If you come into your bait pile and you want to set up there and you see that I'm there, that's when people get real pissed. They're like, oh, what do you do? You're welcome for the bait. And then they do, they throw all this fit and everything. Your bait means nothing to me. Now, if I was walking in and saw your bait pile there, I would not be there. I would just leave. But if I end up hunting in close proximity to your bait that I don't know was there, and I didn't know was there till after I set up, I don't care. Not my problem. Sorry about your spot, dude. You picked a good spot. You screwed it up by putting a bait pile in it. And now we're both going to pay the consequences because this could have been great. Now it's probably going to be mediocre. But it is what it is. And I'm good with that. I'm going to hunt it for the afternoon because I'm already set up and then I'm bailing out of here. So that's kind of my attitude there. As far as other hunters, small game hunters, bird dogs coming through, things like that, this is a true reality everywhere you go. Squirrel dogs down here in Georgia, they're insane. During the hog season, I get screwed up by squirrel dogs more than anything else. I can be working a swamp and they will come through with those dogs and just destroy an area. It's upsetting. They have every right to be there. They have every right to be there too. You cannot get mad at it. You can kick the ground and scuff and, you know, and get mad a little bit, but you cannot let them see that and you cannot give them a hard time. They're, sorry about that dog walking through the neighbor right along the fence line over there. I just heard it. But so like I said, it's, you know, it is what it is out there. The baiting thing, like I said, you take it with a grain of salt. The small game hunters, you take it with a grain of salt. The bird dogs, the pheasant, everybody has the right to recreate. Mountain bikers, you know, so they stay on a mountain bike trail. But if they decide to get off and walk because the guy's got to pee and he walks right underneath your stand because you're 40 yards off the mountain bike trail, it is what it is. You just have to deal with it however it's going to come. Always be nice, always be polite, keep that etiquette in mind, treat it with respect. Like I said, I know some of these things I say in here people argue with or not agree with, but you know what? I don't care. Like I said, this is the way I'm looking at it, and this is how I see it. The days of having the woods to yourself, that all ended when they let crossbows into the archery season. And it's like that everywhere now. And I don't say that as a hit to crossbows. Not at all. I've come to my terms and acceptance with crossbows. They're here and they're never going away. But allowing crossbows into the archery season meant that we no longer have any section of woods to ourselves anymore. Okay, and again, I don't mean that as a hit. It's just the sheer number and volumes of people that have come into the sport because of that easy button technology. Again, not knocking it. But the woods has never been the same since, and it never will. And since the pandemic and stuff like that too, with everybody looking for new hobbies and how many people, the 20% increase in hunter numbers and stuff that came from that, we deal with the same kind of things. But the woods is jam-packed. There's maybe hunter numbers are dropping year to year, but the amount of land is dropping much quicker. So here's your hunter number drop, and here's your speed of the property drop. It's going much faster. So people are getting jammed on more. And we have public or mobile hunting becoming super popular. Saddles, lightweight gear, all this stuff, meaning that people are hunting much more spread out, diverse, and all over the place rather than walk in and hunt here, walk in and hunt here. This wind, walk in and hunt here. Walk in, you know, that's it. These couple of places. Now they're all over the place out there. Everybody is. And, you know, it is what it is. I can't tell you how many times I climb in a tree and see bow hooks, night eyes, things like that on there. I mean, people are hunting. They're moving. And, but this is how I think the best way to respect that is. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.